Hello everyone, it's Curtis Watson back in Kerbal Space Program, and this is episode 14, which you may remember from episode 3 is when we launch a space station into orbit over Kerbin. And this is the rocket with which we will do that. This is the Kerbon-3A. You can see it's taking quite a bit of inspiration from the NASA Space Launch System design. Let me get the nav ball out of the way here. It's got, I can't pan the camera like I can in edit mode, but it's got its heavy engines down here, two decent sized solid rocket boosters. I forgot again, I still can't pan up the camera. We got a Rhino engine hidden in there. And under this cargo fairing, we have our space station module, which unfortunately you can't see, but believe me, it's there. And we have our motley crew. We just finished training these guys, so we're trusting them with this brand new space station. We got our pilot, Cathnerd Kerbin. We got Podimon Kerbin and Hausor Kerbin. There's not much to go over except what we have already gone over. All that's really left to do is launch this bad boy. So let's hope I remember how to set the throttle right. Let me set it to here. That usually works for me. And I will do a quick save, because we always need one of those in case something goes horribly wrong. Alright, here we go. 10-second countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Wow, we got off the ground way easier than I thought we would. There, throttle down just a little bit. We do not need that much power for this thing. I mean, it's got a lot of power already. 2/3 throttle is plenty. Blow off this cargo fairing, and you see our space station. Oh my. It's not supposed to be doing that. Let me try a lower throttle setting. I do not like the way this is looking. I will be amazed if we circularize and don't fly to bits in the process. Look at this. So many dead physicists are screaming in their graves right now. Oh, well, I'll be darned. Would you look at that? Huh. That's perfect, I think. I think that's gosh darn perfect. But we're extending our solar panels. Let me deactivate this engine just so we're not tempted to activate it later. And ladies and gentlemen, there we are, less than 15 minutes in, and we have our space station finally operational over Kerbin. That was not as long a video as I thought it would be. Honestly, everyone, I don't know what I was expecting. That's really all I had for this video. I guess this is a good time to go over my plans for future interplanetary missions. So the first one I got, you remember our Victory missions, right? We had the Victory 1 in, I think, episode 11. Victory 2 landed off camera. Victory 3, that was actually the subject of my moon landing tutorial in episode 3. That's part of the odd timeline of videos thing. But Victory 4, we're not going to the moon. We're going to Minmus on that one. And we are going to take something a little bit different to get there. So as you can see, this is one of the Victory landers from the Moon program, but it has been modified quite a bit. Instead of 3 of these Rockomax X216 fuel tanks, we only have 2 of those, Rockomax X208, and then up here we have a service bay, which if we open, if you couldn't see already, we have a little rover in there. I believe in episode 12, you watched me land one of these little rovers, which I have now named Mooney. He's going to be very popular with our merchandising department. We're going to deliver a slightly modified, that is, carrying scientific instruments like this here and other things you can't see, to the surface of Minmus, instead of having to do that same thing I did in episode 12, because good lord, that was an absolute mess of a ship. I'm still amazed that it worked, and I'm not in a hurry to test my luck with another one. So, this is going to be our Minmus lander. And you'll notice we have our drogue chutes and main parachutes mounted to the sides, and a docking port to the top. That is because this is not going to be the only thing we send to Minmus like we do to the moon. We are actually going to do an Apollo-style mission. That is, let me see. We have this lander here, which I'm thinking about adding RCS thrusters, which would probably be a good idea. And we're going to have a command module, which is very similar to this, with its own main thrusters and possibly RCS function, attached to a transfer stage. It's going to be a 3-stage ship launched from the ground and constructed in space. I don't have a diagram for it. I'm just reading this off a little drawing I sketched the other day. And it's going to have like several engines to propel it from Kerbin to Minmus and probably back. The lander with the rover payload is set in orbit first, then the command module is brought up and attached to that, and finally the engines are brought up. And once it's all attached, it flies to Minmus. The lander carrying the rover will descend, the crew will do their thing, the rover will deploy, and the lander will return up to the command module, and then the whole ship flies back to Kerbin. The whole thing, including the lander. And then we park it in orbit, detach the lander again, and ditch everything from the cursor down, just like we do with the rest of the Victory landers, and this command module returns to ground with these parachutes. And then on the next mission, a new lander will be attached to the command module. That's it's a very, hopefully a reusable type thing. That's what I plan anyway. Now, this is where it gets exciting. I'm going to attempt a very similar thing with with the planet Duna, only it's going to be much, much bigger. So basically it's the same thing. We build it in several launches in orbit. It's got massive engines to propel it to another planet, and it's basically a miniature space station with gigantic engines. Kind of like the one we just launched. And it's got a command module and a lander. And, well, again, I wish I had prototypes to show you, but I don't. So that's really just an announcement telling my further plans. But look for this guy coming up in a future video. In fact, I'll probably make a video of constructing the Kerbin to Minmus ship. Until then, everyone, I've been Curtis Watson. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.